In previous presentations, we have discussed individual and squad drill. You have now reached the next evolution in your learning process. The time has come to merge your squad with two other squads to form a platoon. The platoon consists of 3 squads: the platoon commander, the platoon petty officer, and the guide. This is the first in a series of 3 presentations on platoon drill. Today we will discuss forming and aligning the platoon. First, let's cover some general information you need to know about platoons. As we have already mentioned, a platoon is made up of 3 squads. The platoon normally forms in a line. In this formation, squads are numbered from front to rear. Squad leaders are on the right of their squads. The guide is right of the first squad leader. The platoon petty officer is left of the 3rd squad, and the platoon commander is 6 paces in front of the center of the platoon. The platoon may also form in column. In this formation, squads are numbered left to right, and squad leaders are in front of their squads. The guide is in front of the 3rd squad leader. The platoon petty officer is behind the last member of the 3rd squad, and the platoon commander is at the head of the 1st squad. Now that we have learned some of the basics, let's form the platoon. The platoon may be formed by the platoon petty officer or the platoon commander. We'll explain differences as we proceed. To form the platoon petty officer takes post 3 paces in front of the point where the center of the platoon will be, faces that point, and commands, "Fall in."
Fall in!
At this command, the guide takes a position so that the 1st rank, when aligned, will be centered on and 3 paces from the platoon petty officer. The 1st squad leader falls in at normal interval, left of the guide. The 2nd squad leader falls in behind the 1st squad leader, leaving 40 inches between them. The 3rd squad leader falls in behind the 2nd, also leaving 40 inches. Squad members fall in on their squad leader at normal interval. Exact interval is taken only by 1st squad. Members of 2nd and 3rd squads take approximate interval. In other words, they cover the corresponding member of the 1st rank. All platoon members fall in at attention. When the platoon is formed, the platoon petty officer will command, "Report."
Report!
Squad leaders in succession salute and report, "All present," or report absences.
First squad all present, ma'am. Very well.
Second squad all present, ma'am.
Very well. Third squad all present, ma'am. Very well.
If the platoon commander is not present, the platoon petty officer takes 3 paces forward and assumes the post and duties of the platoon commander. When the platoon commander is present, the platoon petty officer faces front after receiving the muster report and awaits the arrival of the platoon commander. Then salutes and reports, "All present and accounted for," or reports absences.
All present and accounted for, ma'am.
The platoon commander returns the salute and instructs the platoon petty officer to take his or her post.
Very well. Take your post. Aye, ma'am.
The platoon petty officer then steps off, as in marching, to post by the most direct route. The platoon is formed by the platoon commander in the same way, except the platoon commander takes post 6 paces in front of the point where the center of the platoon will be and commands, "Fall in."
Fall in!
The platoon then forms on the platoon commander. The platoon petty officer takes post on the left of the 3rd squad. The platoon commander takes the muster report from squad
First
leaders.
squad all present, ma'am. Very well.
Second squad all present.
The platoon has now been formed. The next step is to align the platoon. In line, the platoon is aligned the same way as a squad would align. The command is, dress right, dress.
Dress right, dress.
On the command of execution, the guide and first squad perform the same movements you learned in individual and squad drill. The second and third squad leaders keep their heads and eyes to the front, obtain proper distance, and provide interval to the squad members to their left. The remainder of the second and third squads perform the same movements as the first squad. At the same time, the platoon commander faces half left, as in marching, and proceeds in the most direct route until on line with the first rank and one pace from the guide, or first squad leader. After halting, he or she executes a right face and aligns the first squad by instructing squad members to move forward or backward until they receive the steady command.
Third person back. Steady.
The platoon commander then faces left, as in marching, and marches to the next squad, executes a right face, and proceeds to align squad 2.
Third person back. Steady.
After verifying the alignment of the third squad, the
Second
platoon
person up.
commander faces right, as in marching, and marches straight to a point 3 paces beyond the first squad, halts, faces left, and commands, ready, front, cover.
Ready, front, cover.
Immediately after commanding cover, he or she marches to post 6 paces front and center of the platoon. When in column, the platoon is aligned by the command cover.
Cover.
At the command of execution, the third squad leader obtains a 40-inch distance from the guide. All third squad members cover with a 40-inch distance. Squad leaders 2 and 1 obtain proper interval and align on the third squad leader. Squads 2 and 1 align on squad 3 and cover their squad leaders. This concludes our first presentation on platoon drill. We have discussed platoon composition and the forming and aligning of the platoon. Next time, we will discuss opening and closing ranks, some special guide rules, and platoon movements at close, interval, and normal.